time of year, I have to bring out all my trays of my seedlings and put them in the sun so that they can grow. The first one that I brought out is my cuttings tray, and it's got all the cuttings that I made last fall. And normally it's not really good to take the cuttings in the fall and keep them overwintered, and I used compost, so there's a bunch of weeds in it and everything, but I've got free plants from it: gooseberries, currants, blueberries, roses, all sorts of good stuff. So but now begins the long process of bringing everything out into the sun. I love planting seeds. The transition between inside and outside every morning, that is something that I look forward to the end of, though. Look at, here's all my phenomenal lavender. I am so excited to get that out onto the lavender hill as soon as we get our last frost date. I got a couple platinum blonde lavenders too that I'm kind of excited about. And then here's the lavender that I'm really, really excited about finding out about. This is the first time I've seen this. This is Elegance Snow, and this is hardy down to zone 5. Zone 5, and this is a white lavender. I mean, that's just absolutely gorgeous. So getting a lavender that's hardy down to zone 5 is very nice because I'm in zone 6. Phenomenal, though, I mean, it's in the name, right? The phenomenal lavender is hardy all the way down to zone 4. That's a really big deal. That is a really, really big deal. And then I believe the platinum blonde is also to zone 5. Oh, zone 6. Okay, which is okay because that's where we're at. We're 6B. And so, but this Elegant Snow, usually when you get these decorative lavenders, they're not going to be as hardy as that. And so getting a very decorative lavender, as if there's any lavender that's not decorative, but getting a lavender that's going to be like a little bit different than the regular purple English lavender is very exciting, to be hardy all the way down to zone 5. And so that's something that I'm excited about. I'm also very excited about these cuttings, and then I have some elderberry cuttings that I got last fall, and I should not have done it. I had to overwinter them, and it was stressful for them. It was stressful for me. And so I did. I got them then, and I overwintered them in the windowsill. They didn't like that. I didn't like that. But they're doing pretty good. So here's my elderberry. So here is a black elderberry, and then here's the this is the European, and then these are the American elderberries. And so they're leafing out. They're doing a good job. If I had not done it last fall, these guys would still be around today, probably. They did not do well. The European elderberry did not do as well as the American lavender. I got lavender on the brain. It did not do as well as the American version of the elderberry over the winter. I will not be doing cuttings in the fall anymore and overwintering them throughout the winter, because that's just a stressful way to do it. But it was my first chance to do something like that, and I wasn't going to let the opportunity pass me by. better to try and fail than not have tried at all, right? But now that I've got some bigger plants that are established well, now in the spring, I'm going to start taking cuttings and doing cuttings throughout the growing season, and then getting them established into the garden right away almost. And so I think that they'll do a lot better that way, and I'll get more cuttings that succeed that way. So I'm just looking forward to being in the stage of my food forest and my garden where I can take cuttings and I have all the varieties that I want and need, and I can take cuttings to start propagating and getting more abundance with my plants, especially in the food forest, because I'm just going to jam pack that thing full. I'm going to really I'm going to get a lot of density of plantings going on in there. And then also I want to get a high density planting in my high food forest, the one that's on top of the hill. And in order to do that, I don't want to spend a ton of money because I already have the plants. So I'll just take those cuttings and densely plant the cuttings once they take root and they're ready to go and they're established up into the high food forest. And by that time, the high food forest will also be secure from our intrepid and determined deer and any rabbits or bunnies that might want to come in and nibble on my new cuttings. These peppers and the eggplants, they are getting so ready to get into the garden. We've got a couple more weeks until our last frost date, so soon they can be free. So I wanted to share with you something that I'm very excited about. This is my, I want to get it out without breaking it. Okay, so this is my parcel, and this is like a cross between like a parsley and a celery, and it has a very strong celery taste. And I don't know if you've ever tried growing celery before, but I have, and I can do it, and I've done it, and it's okay, but it's not the easiest thing to plant. And so I would rather plant things in my garden that I know are going to really do well with less work, and I can use that's going to be a little bit more sustenance filling, I guess. Celery is not going to fill you up, right? I really just plant celery so that I can get that flavor in stews and roasts and stuff like that. And so the parcel is actually perfect for that, because you can kind of see it looks a lot like a celery with the stalks, and it smells like a celery, but it grows like a parsley, and so it's a lot easier to grow than a celery is. And you can take cuttings, you cut around the outside, and more stuff will shoot up and grow. And so it's kind of a continuous harvest thing throughout the summer. And so what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to harvest the outer edges of it and let the rest grow and continuously harvest. And then I'll chop it up finely and I'll dry it in my dehydrator. And then I'll can it, use my little canning jar topper to suck all the air out of it with my food saver. And then I'll have celery flavor for all of my food that I want to make throughout the fall and the winter. And so also the parcel has a stronger celery flavor than actual celery, and so you need less of it in order to impart that flavor into your food, which is nice. Because I don't know about you, but I don't like the texture of celery. I like the flavor. I like to have the flavor in there, and so I kind of put up with the texture, but being able to have something where I put less of it in but still get that same amount of flavor, and I don't have to deal with the texture so much, is going to be a really big deal and a game changer for our food, I think, in the way that I enjoy eating my food. And so this parcel I'm very excited to plant this, and I think that it's going to go really well, and I think this is going to be a great alternative to the regular celery crop that I normally do. And I have some celery growing in the garden, and I'm going to continue growing those, but I've got a lot of hope in this. I was just checking on a few things, and I saw my Nanking cherry It is bushing out. Look at all these side shoots coming out from the branches, and I swear it was just like a week ago, and we only had the little tiny, the leaves on the stems, and now it's branching out, and I am super excited to see this growth. I'm gonna go check my other Nanky and see what's going on with that one. Run, chicken. Oh, it's doing the same thing. How exciting is that? Look at that. It's starting to look bushy. That's just gonna be fabulous. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh. And my dandelion is looking good. I think I'm gonna start harvesting that dandelion pretty soon. This is the lupine coming up. Very excited about that. I did a transplant from wild lupine right there. And here is my liatris coming up, or my gay feather. Oh, look at, there's 2 lupine. There's one there, and then there's one right there. That's exciting. Oh, I just love seeing things start to bush out, start to grow. Looks like I need to plant something right here. I think I've got an empty space here. I am happy to find something to grow there, that's for sure. And then look at this catmint. Ugh, just lush and dense and wonderful. I wish you could smell it. It just smells so good. And the artemisia, that has got to be one of the prettiest foliage plants that I've ever grown. I'm excited to have those growing. Okay, enough of the detour. Okay, so it's going to rain soon, which is exciting because, well, rain is super important. But I got some stuff I want to do first. So I got to get it done before the rain starts. One of the things is I want to put together some seedling trays. And I much prefer to put my soil into the trays outside rather than inside because I'm just notoriously messy at it and I don't like vacuuming more than I have to. So I'm going to put some soil in these, and then once it starts raining I can plant inside, but I want to get the soil in the seed tray now. Okay, so usually when I have a pot of soil, potting soil, or seed starting mix, it doesn't go nearly as far as I wanted it to or would like for it to. And today it felt like that was the never-ending bag. It kept going and going and going. I'm very thankful for that. And here are my seed trays. I just watered them real good, letting it soak in a little bit before I bring them inside and put those plants in. But I have things like in that little green pot right here. This is can you see it? If I put something behind it, maybe you can see it. There you go. That is a olive tree that I'm going to pot up. Need to give it a bigger pot and kind of grow that, have that be an outdoor thing during the summer and an indoor thing during the winter. And then I have some aloes that I need to put up and get into a bigger pot. I have a pitcher plant, a Venus flytrap. And so being able to have extra soil to put into pots is really nice and kind of a rarity during seed starting time. So I'm excited about that. But seeing as how it's about to rain, well, I'll do something first. I thought it was the perfect time to scatter some seeds. And now earlier today, in all these rock walls, I planted snow and summer, but just the seeds. I didn't put the plants in. I just scattered a ton of seeds. I was inspired because we went to one of my favorite places on the river, and there was all these rocks on the other side of the road. It was a deep gully area, and these rocks had snow and summer growing out of them on their own. And I thought, well, nobody's climbing up there to plant those for sure, so how easy does it have to be to just spread some seeds? And I got them at the dollar store for like 4 packets for $1. And so I just scattered seed. And maybe they'll grow, maybe they won't. It took me like 2 minutes to scatter the seed on top of the rock walls. And if some of it catches, that's wonderful. And if it doesn't, that's okay too. But right now, I have some Gilia globe, and I'm very excited to plant this on this barren wasteland of a hill next to my lavender beds and next to the beehive hill. And if you notice that there's not a beehive there, it's because it is out getting packed with bees from a neighbor of ours who has bees, and she had a couple of swarms, and so she's just giving us some of her bees, which I'm super excited about. Of course, that means now our trap is going to work while we don't have a beehive. That's just how things work, right? But when the hive comes back, and we got a Apame hive, which means that it's super easy to transport, really easy to close up the bees inside of, that we're gonna have bees. So as soon as that comes back, we'll set that up there, and we'll be going. Bees will be here. And anyway, so this is Gilia. I'm not exactly sure. Once again, I'm terrible at pronouncing. And this is a annual. It's a native to the West Coast, but it has these really, really beautiful blue clusters of flowers, and I just think that they're absolutely gorgeous. They're very sweetly scented, it says, and it attracts pollinators. And so, yeah, I'm definitely going to plant this on here. But the thing that drew me to this type specifically is that it says that it very easily reseeds itself. And so to me, that means that there's a good chance if I just sprinkle this pack of seeds on the ground here, that some of them will come up. And if it's a self-seeding annual, there's a good chance that if I get a few to come up, then more seeds will fall in the fall, and they'll stratify over the winter, and then we'll have more plants in the summer, and then those will spread, and those will spread, and those will spread. So that's what I'm hoping for. I also have a second packet of these that I'm going to sow into my seed trays, just in case. Look at these guys. They're so fun. Just in case these don't take off very well, if they needed to be stratified or they needed some extra care or something like that. So I'm going to do it both ways. Hopefully both ways work. And then I end up with lots of seeds. But it's going to rain, so now is the perfect time to scatter some seeds that I don't really need to worry about packing in. And this is, these seeds are so tiny that you don't really need to pack them in. I'll just kind of step on the area that I spread them. So here we go. Okay, well, that's going to do it, folks. If you liked this video, please hit the like button and then subscribe to my channel, because there's going to be a lot more stuff coming out like this almost every day. And then if you really love what you're seeing, then you can hit that notification button, and then you'll be notified whenever a new video comes out right away. Thank you so much for sticking around with me till the end, and have a wonderful day. Stay blessed.